is to talk about not just our resources, but we're talking about what we believe in. And that's why we have to make a statement and continue to make a statement. And it's not going to be easy. We've had over 150 years of thinking that our neighbor, while big and powerful, was also not an adversary. Well, that has now changed. Mr. Trump has put himself in the ranks of the authoritarians. He wants to destroy the things that have given us as Canadians who we are, what we are, where we should go. And that means that we have to be really careful. Look, the Terror War is just the beginning. And I want to say this one way to improve who we are, who our core beliefs are, is to make sure that the people who are going to suffer pain are given full regard. That we're not going to be sort of like questioning them. I think we have to say that we are paying a price. There's no question about it. But we have to withstand it, just like I think my parents' generation did. And so that's a beginning, but it's not the end. And the one thing I really want to bring to the group today is that as we get into this question of how do we reassert our independence, one of the most important issues in front of us is going to be an election in this country in the next 3 or 4 months. As pointed out, the Liberals are meeting tonight to choose a new leader. The chances are an election could be called within days or within weeks. What we are facing is the threat of Trump and Musk, who have the money, the power, and the platforms to interfere in our elections, to make people distrust who we are, to throw a bias to where we are as Canadians. And we have to stand up for that. We have to be ready for it. And we have we gather here together in proper communion from all parts of the country and all ages and stages. I really want to say to you that I think that we have to plan a new course. It's great to see so many young people in the audience because that's a generation that's going to be making decisions for a long time to come and dealing with tough issues. But what it really means is that we can navigate a new course. We can hold to the principles we've sort of propounded, we've brought forward, we've given to the world, but give them new definitions. Let's, we've seen the provincial premiers. God knows I was in politics for 30 years and I've never seen provincial premiers agree to anything. Now we're talking about internal trade. I mean, that's the holy grail. We have to improve our democracy. There are many people in this country who don't feel represented, who don't feel that our system gives them full voice. And we have to go back and refurbish our institutions so that they can be stronger and better to stand on. I think that that's something that I believe strictly in. And let's think about that as Canadians. What would we probably like to see a better democracy with more participation and the people who are affected by decisions have a right to say what they are and how they should be implemented. We also deeply concerned about our Arctic. We spent a lot of time talking about our North. The security threat, what happens if our own military still relies upon planes and ships where the control systems, the codes, the digital management is run by the Pentagon, that we are able to defend ourselves and push back when Donald Trump tells his lackey generals that he's been bringing on board, that this is what we want to do. There's so much at stake, and then we just simply have to find a new course to do. I'm not going to give, like a grandmother, I see that the organizers want to move on. No, maybe your toes are getting a little twitchy like mine are. But I simply want to say at the end, throughout our history, we've had leadership. Now we have a chance to make sure that leadership doesn't continue with spitballing, continues with a sense of who we are as Canadians. this parliament should be meeting today to pass an all-party resolution in support of Canada. Before you call an election, call parliament. So before we get in to the competition, we also get in with what the nicest. That is something that we have as Canadians. Thank you very much for coming out. We're just gonna do a mic check. Can you hear us in the back? All right. That was a spontaneous Canadian anthem. That was. All right, so we're gonna do a little community activation activity now because you're here as Canadians, as neighbors. So are you ready for this, Julie? I am. All right. Yes. Okay. All right. So we're gonna find someone you don't know. We're gonna do neighbor speed dating. You're gonna find someone